Hello Reds and welcome to Top of the Cop. Now today's video is a little bit different. It's actually some extracts from a podcast that I've done recently with This Is Football, and we just spent a little bit of time talking about Curtis Jones and his improvements. So today's video is going to be extracts from obviously that, talking about Curtis Jones, talking about the Porto game, and also looking towards the Man City game at the weekend. You know, my predictions on the score and my predictions on the team. And yeah, with Curtis Jones, the reason I'm doing this video is because I really just think that he deserves the plaudits, because we spent, you'll hear in the podcast itself, the week before we done a podcast, and I made comments about Curtis Jones in an encouraging way of what I wanted to see from him, and, you know, for him to make that next step. So it's all going to be justified in this video. You're going to see both sides of me, obviously critiquing him and then obviously giving him the plaudits that he's deserved. And yeah, we're going to look forward to the Man City game as well on Sunday. So yeah, if you do enjoy today's video, hit the like button, let me know, because if you like these type of extracts from the podcasts that I do, it's obviously easier content for me to bring to you. And obviously, if you appreciate my opinion and my side of these things, breaking down into little pieces, it's easier for me to bring to you. So just let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy the video. And yeah, hit the subscribe button for more LFC related content. And with that being said, let's get into it, Reds.
Roy, my guy, we had an in-depth discussion about Curtis Jones. I think all of us except Evan said that the one thing we do not like about Curtis Jones is he does not release the ball quickly and everything. And however, I think the game against Porto, he was absolutely phenomenal. Brentford, I think, like Evan said, all the 11 didn't perform to the standard in that game. So it's hard to give credit for because of the obviously the context of that game. However, against Porto, absolutely phenomenal, Curtis Jones. So, Roy, talk to me.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about Curtis Jones more in a sec. But yeah, we talked about the Brentford game as well, and we all kind of said 3-0. But I did say I think they're going to cause us problems. I went for a conservative 3-1. But no, they were always going to. I think what it was, for previous games leading up to this game, we've kind of had it easy in the sense of we had a lot of the ball. If you look at the possessions, the possession in most of the games we played, we've had like 60 plus possession in the games. And it was like Brentford didn't give us any respect, and fair play to them. They didn't let us sit on the ball, pass it around the back and play like a team that are going to sit and absorb and hit on the counter-attack. They gave it us both barrels. And I think it was their second goal, wasn't it, when they overloaded Trent at the back post with 3 players. Like, no team's doing that against Liverpool, probably, until the next time we play them again. That was so ballsy of them to do that. And at home with their fans, it just goes to show that, unfortunately, AP have to go against you. I don't think they're in any way, shape or form going to be in the relegation battle this season. They have showed that they're the new Bournemouth, let's say, coming up with the bit between their teeth. And I think they're going to do well this season. Top of the half of the table, maybe not, somewhere around that level though. But they literally showed us no respect, and it was brilliant. Obviously not brilliant as a Liverpool fan to watch, but at the same time it was nice to see a team that I do have a soft spot for, in the sense of, you know, the style of play they got, actually get something out of that game and no one, you know, back them to. But then again, as you say, the Porto game, the contrast, the difference was ridiculous. But that was Porto's downfall. They gave us too much respect. They sat back. They let us just control the play, and we decided when we picked them off. You know, well, look how many goals we scored past them the last 3 or 4 times we played them. It was inevitable it was going to happen. But yeah, the Curtis Jones thing, we all said in that pod. Well, I've even went to that extent. I've wrote down what I said about him, so I could make sure I put myself in place. I didn't slag him off. As you said, he has moments of brilliance. I wasn't too sure on the height, like his ceiling, like if he was at the ceiling that, you know, Harvey Elliott has. He's not a first name. You know, is he a first name or is he a squad player? And at the moment, he's a squad player. And I was questioning his position in the team, like what's his actual best position? I think someone else said he had a lack of impact. And the last thing I said, everything's by the book. It's too safe. He needs to just let his raw talent show. And it was more of an encouragement side of things for me. I wanted to see more from him. I know he's only young, and I know Evan's quite keen on letting everybody know that he's still got all those tools. It's just getting the chance to obviously use them. But yesterday, I thought creatively sound, unbelievable, work rate, up and down, reminded me of Genie in that sense, in the sense of, back to front, not a problem for him. He's shown as well now that he's kind of nailed down that left side of midfield now when he plays, but his creativity last night showed that he could play in a number 10 if we went to it. Two sitting and one in behind a striker if we ever needed to play that formation. So he's kind of showing now his positional play, his positional awareness, and it's kind of all clicking. It clicked last night, not just in a moment of brilliance like previously. The Everton game, the goal, we were like, oh, well, he's amazing. But he had such an impact on the whole 90 minutes last night. I was shocked. Not shocked in the sense of like I didn't think he had that, but shocked that he produced that level of consistency over the 90 minutes. And it was like with Trent being out, it was like they had little Scousers union, like, I'll take over the assists, mate, until you come back. It was ridiculous. Like, what was it? They have 3-4 assists last night?
4.
Yeah, unbelievable. And like, I can't remember where I read it, but if that's a foreign player, like a Tony Cruz doing that for Real Madrid or something like that, he'd be player of the Champions, the Champions Week. He was unbelievable. Absolutely brilliant.
And obviously next is the biggest test in the Premier League. It's hands down the biggest test. It's the game against City at Anfield, though. So that's the major advantage we have. The discussions need to be around the team selection. The discussions need to be around, like, I think, look, when it comes to the team, because the one thing as well, Jones has been playing phenomenally, but Keita's back. Forget what we want. What will Klopp do? Also, the front three. Are we going to go with the iconic front three? Are we going to go with Firmino, Mane, and Salah? That's what I think. Or is Jota dropped? Who actually plays in midfield? Could Klopp go for a Brexit midfield where he plays Fabinho, Milner, and Henderson in midfield just for defensive reasons? Listen, we've seen it before. We've seen the Brexit midfield from Klopp. This is something he sometimes does. So that's a possibility as well. So City next, people. Whoever wants to take it, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I personally think we'll set up similar to the way we set up against Porto, but I think Firmino comes in for Jota. I think that's probably the most sound team to go with. I'm actually quite confident, like touch wood, I'm actually quite confident with Milner against Grealish. I think Grealish waits for you to commit before he tries to go round you because he's not naturally the fastest, especially from a starting point. So I think he waits for Milner. I think he waits for a right back to maybe put pressure on him, whereas Milner can kind of stand off. He knows he's not the fittest, the fastest, and he can get doubled up. Salah has shown actually this season, which is ridiculous, how much he gets back. There's no way that he's got any issues with his contract. He is not arsed. He loves our football club. The way he gets back to help Trent out is ridiculous. So if Grealish is waiting for that contact from Milner, it's going to have players like him, Henderson coming back, double, trip. I've got no issues with that. I just think Firmino, I think he showed a little bit of sharpness last night. Yeah, they were down and out by that point, but I just think taking his role, the way he plays the number 9 role in front of the two centre backs can cause issues. And if Curtis Jones shows anything like he showed last night, I don't know how City are going to cope with that, in the sense of he likes to just cut in front of the right centre back and cause problems there. And I don't think the Man City defence are going to push on him. And if they, as Callum said, if they don't play 2 defensive mids, that could be their problem. Those little attacking areas in front of the back four, the little holes. If Curtis Jones gets 1 or 2 of those, he could score or create, like we've seen last
with the Firmino thing, with the Firmino and Jota thing. This is a brilliant question from Chris Harper, because this is what Klopp did last year away at the Etihad, where he started all 4. Is it a possibility this game to see both Firmino and Jota just because of Klopp's trust in the big games?
I don't think so. I don't think he changed the formation for a big game like this when we're doing so well. We've scored 20 goals in 6 games, plus 3 in every single of our last 6 games. And I don't think we've conceded that many in them, apart from the Brentford game, which, you know, as we kind of all have alluded to, it was kind of just a one-off. I think we stick similar. I think Man City changing the formation in the Champions League shows you don't change your best team against the big guns. I'm not against that formation, because I think that formation would get the best ultimately out of Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. I think those two playing in a free role in the middle will suit them. But I don't think you change for this game. And with us being at home, I think this is the must-win tie. You take a draw if it was a City now at the point of the season, but with it being at home, we need 3 points.
I won't take a draw at Anfield. I won't take a draw at Anfield
100%.
at all. We need to win. We need to win.
See, I kind of feel sorry for Jota, if I'm going to be honest, because Jota wasn't brought in to be a number 9. He was brought in to have competition with Mane mainly. But because we've not gone out and got another number 9, I think he's almost kind of been a curse onto himself with the fact that he was scoring goals from the number 9 position. And the front three were scoring when he was playing as well. But when you look at sort of the way they play with each other, just game by game, it's not as fluid as when Firmino's there. However, they may be more devastating when Jota plays there. I actually think Jota, in the period where Mane was going through a really stinky patch, I think that's where Jota could have really come in and really made a position his own. But I now think he's almost suffering from not being a natural finisher. And I think this is what we saw mainly against Brentford, is that we've got goals in our team because we create so many chances, and Salah's excellent. Salah, for me, is top 3 in the world. But he's not a natural goal scorer. There's just a difference between having natural goal scorers and players who score goals. I think Salah's a great goal scorer, but I don't think he'll ever be a natural goal scorer. In the same way, you've got a Jota. I think Jota will score plenty of goals, but there'll just be those times where he's not a natural striker because he didn't grow up playing as a striker. I think to learn it now when you're at Liverpool, arguably top 5 best teams in Europe, I think it's a really tough, demanding ask. And I think I don't want it to get to a point where we as a fan base start questioning Jota's talent and what he brings to the team because he's playing in a position that's not natural to him.
No, when Sam had finished, I was just going to say it's all about with his back to goal. If you've played football or you play similar positions, you know, if you play in a midfield or you might be able to score great goals as a midfielder. But once you're put in that number 9 position with your back to goal, it's a completely different game. So he's just used to having a bit of freedom on the left, cutting in, having a look at what's on in front of him. That's what makes Firmino so special. There's not many people who can keep their eyes going 360 all the time, know their awareness. So an actual number 9 is a pretty hard role to play with your back to goal and then creating in the spaces behind you as well. So, but to be fair, let's say Jota scored 3 goals in the league already this season, you know, wherever he has played. So he's definitely contributing as a player. There's no question about that. But I just think Firmino's gonna start against City. But I think we've shown in the past, if we give Man City too much respect, let them sit on the ball, they can damage us. But if we're relentless pressure, we can blow them away in half an hour. We've done it. We've done it on numerous occasions. I understand, you know, it's a risky game to play, but I think that's how Brentford played against us. And I know but we're better at defending. Well, I say we're better at defending, and we drew 3-3 with them. But you know what I mean. I think if we're relentless from the kickoff for the first 30 minutes, we could be 1-2. Potentially 3-0 up. And I think that's kind of the way we've got to play against them, especially at home. They've scored like 2 goals on average a game this season, regardless of who they played. So we've got to respect that. But my issue is I just think we need to lower our respect for them.
This is a game now. The more I think of it, the more nervous I become. And it's just like, obviously we had the conversation regarding the front line and the midfield. The question now, just regarding the defense, before I go to every single one of you towards the end and just get your team and prediction. The defense, are we worried after what happened against Brentford, or is it a one-off?
No, not worried. Because Brentford played the high ball pressure quite a lot. City will play in the channels, and I think we cope with that a little bit better than the long ball. And obviously, we showed against Burnley as well. I know we beat them, but they gave, once they start throwing arms on top of Matip, don't get me wrong, there were several times they should have been given free kicks. We never got them against Burnley, but I just feel Man City play the intricate football in behind the lines, and I think that suits us a bit better, especially with Fabinho in front of the back four as well, and the likes of Salah and Mane tracking back.
Roy, your team and prediction.
Similar to the Porto. Alisson, Milner, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson. I think we stay with Fabinho, Henderson, and Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones will be on a bit of a high after last night. I think you've got to honour that. And if obviously the impact doesn't happen that we want, then maybe bring the likes of Keita in. From free, Salah, Firmino, Mane for me. And I'm a bit caught in two minds. So the devil side of me wants to say we'll smash them 3-1, right, and put them to bed in half an hour. But I know come Sunday when it kicks off and we're a little bit cagey, it's going to be a 1-0. But I'm going to put my neck on the line. I'm going to say we're going to win the 3-1.
3-1.
I think we're going to keep up with the 3+ goals. Anyway, they were the best bits from the podcast. I really enjoyed being on This Is Football with Sam, Callum, AP, and Ev. And yeah, it's just if you like this type of content where I bring obviously what I'm doing on other people's channels to this channel, let me know in the comments down below. I will do that more often. But yeah, there were some great debates there. You know, we talked about Curtis Jones, we talked about Brentford, we talked about Porto, we talked about Man City, and, you know, we even touched base on Jota's position in the team. So if you want to discuss any of those things down in the comments down below, please do so. I'll have a little debate, and obviously it'd be great to know what you guys are thinking on that. But yeah, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe for more Liverpool related content, and until next time, take care, Reds.